code itself. There are also other data structures like heap, hash tables, etc. There are a lot of online resources to learn data structures. You can refer them and learn it. Also, some data structures will be covered in future info sessions. Algorithms is a sequence of instructions to solve a specific problem. So, like data structures, there are also a lot of online resources to learn algorithms, and also some will be covered in future info sessions. So, to become good in CP, the most important is practice. So you need to practice a lot of CP problems so that you can understand it better and become good in solving CP. And also learning programming language and data structures and algorithms are important. But you shouldn't be like, first I will learn all the concepts and then I will practice. You should do it simultaneously. It will also make you understand the data structures and algorithms better as you apply the concepts as and when you learn. It is also important to start participating in coding contests. There are several coding contests held online through various CP platforms. So you should also participate in contests regularly. Participating in contests will help you to solve CP problems in time constraint and help you improve. Uh, so learn, practice, participate. This is, if you follow this perfectly, then you can be very good in CP. As I said, there are several online platforms to compete in competitive. There to compete in CP. So some are these are the most famous ones. You compete in these platforms: Code Forces, CodeChef, Coder, HackerRank is also a good platform. So for internships, there is coding challenge. Coding challenge will happen, and HackerRank is the most widely used platform. So if you practice in HackerRank, you will get used to its interface, so you can do well in your coding challenges for your internships. Then Hacker Earth is also good. And lead code is specifically for interviews, so I don't recommend it right now. But before your interviews and all, you can definitely practice and lead code. So there are also various online platforms specific to learning, CS, ES, and Spotch. They have lot of standard problems. These are really important ones. You must try and learn. Also, like for each problem, the topic will be mentioned, so you can practice topic wise. Also, after learning a particular topic, you can refer from this website and you can practice. CodeChef. In CodeChef, there are 4 contests held in a month: starters, long challenge, cook-off, lunchtime. Also, there are 3 divisions in CodeChef according to your rating. So starters is rated for Division 3. Long challenge is also rated for Division 3. Cook-off and lunchtime are rated for all. Currently, Feb long challenge is going on. I encourage you all to participate. It started yesterday and it goes on till 7th Feb, 3 p.m. So it will be really great if you guys participate. So you get a hang of what CP is. Next is Code Forces. Code Forces is one of the most valued coding platform. In Code Forces, generally only short contests are held, which are of duration 2 to 3 hours, and around 8 to 10 contests are held in a month. Similar to CodeChef, there is also 3 divisions here: Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. Division 2 contests are held regularly. Division 3 and Division 1 contests are a bit rare. So like I encourage you to participate in Division 3 and Division 2 contests for now. They are comparatively easy, so I encourage you to participate. Next is AtCoder. Here also 3 contest types are there: AtCoder beginner contest, AtCoder regular contest, and AtCoder grand contest. AtCoder beginner contest is beginner level and easy, so I encourage you all to try that once. Uh, Next is HackerRank. As I said, HackerRank is a really important platform. As for your interviews, internships, coding challenges will be held in this platform. It's really important that you practice. Like CodeChef contests similar to CodeChef are held in HackerRank. And very importantly, there is Project Euler. It has a lot of important problem set. It is a very important problem set which you can practice and learn a lot of concepts. Lead code is interview specific, and So you need not practice in it now, but later before your interviews and all, you can definitely prefer lead code and practice there. In lead code, weekly and bi-weekly short contests are held, so you can practice them before your interviews. I will exit my PPT and I will show you the various platforms I said. So this is the code forces. As I said, there are division 2 contests coming up. It is on February 6th, and you can see a lot of division 2 contests. You can try them. Okay, and then next is Code Chef. Now February long challenge is going on. Okay, it started on February 4th yesterday, and it is uh, m- more or approximately 2 days is left. You can practice in this challenge. Also, you can see starters is coming up. It's on 9th Feb. You can practice in there also. Uh, okay. There is also cook off and other contests coming up. You can practice them. This is at Coder. You can see that beginner contests, regular contests are coming up. You can practice here also. This is the hacker rank. Uh, like you can practice based on your what skills you want to develop. Like algorithm specific topic is there, data structures are there. Also, if you want to increase your program efficiency, then programming language proficiency, then C++, Python, C specific programming languages related questions are also there. You can try them also. This is the accurate page. This is also good for practicing questions. Code monk and basic programming, data structures, algorithms topics are there, so you can practice here too. This is the lead code. You can see that weekly contest, bi-weekly contests are coming up. So I don't encourage you to do it right now. You can do it before your interviews and all. Okay, so CP contest tests your logic, algorithmic knowledge, programming skill, and most importantly, speed. So there are time constraint involved in CP contest. So as the ranking is based on the number of problems you solve and also time taken to solve each problem. So speed is really important in competitive programming. Also debugging skill is important. So now let's look about how to participate in the contest. To participate in a contest, you must register in the contest page. Usually, the contest registration will be open till before the contest starts. In some contests, you can also join even after the contest starts and join in the middle and submit your code. That is also possible. And contests are held at a scheduled date and time. So there are chances that you might forget them. So I encourage you to please have a reminder in Google Calendar so that you'll be notified before the contest start. In generally in CP contest, the problem set is of increasing difficulty. That is, let's say like there are 6 problems, A to F. Then A will be the easiest and F will be the hardest. So it is better that you solve A problem first, then B, then C, like that, so that you can do the easy problems first and try on the difficult ones at the end. So you need to solve the problem and submit it in the contest page. The online judge will evaluate your submission and give the verdict. So the ranking will be based on the number of problems you solve and also the time taken to solve each problem. So you must target on solving problems as fast as you can so that you can be ranked better. Okay, so all the submissions you make till the end of the contest will be considered for ranking. And you can also make submissions for the contest after the contest ends, but those submissions won't be considered for ranking. It is just like a practice submission. You can just you'll just get the verdict from the online judge. It won't be considered for the ranking at all. So based on the rank list, your rating will be changed. That is, like if you perform better than your rating, then your if you perform better in the contest, then your rating will increase. If your performance is low as compared to your rating, then your rating will fall for the contest. So based on the rating you have, a division will also be allotted to you. As we saw, there are three divisions in code forces as well as code chef. Less than 1600 will be division 3, less than 2100 will be division 2, greater than 1100 will be 1900 will be division 1. So the basic the reason for division is just to compare your performance with other participants in the same division. I would like to ask Varaj to continue.
Yeah, hello.
I will stop.
Yeah, I will be taking the session from here. Am I audible, Rahul?
Yes, Varaj.
Yeah. Yeah, so we talk about online judges here. An online judge is an online system to test programs in programming contest. They are also used to practice for such contests. So what do these platforms like Codeforces, CodeShare, what do they do is they took the help of online judge in order to judge your solution. Whatever solution you submit for a particular problem, the solution is judged by the online judge. And based upon the response you will get a verdict, like if your solution was accepted or if it was there was some fault in the solution. So best whatever it is you will get to see with the help of these online judges. The system now what does this online do the system can compile and execute your code and test your code with pre-constructed data. So what happens is the online judge whatever code you submit to the online judge to the platforms on the platforms like Codeforces, CodeShift, they compile and execute your code. And once it is executed, it is inputted against the pre-constructed data. So whatever code you submit, it is run against the pre-constructed data which they have. This data might not be visible to you. So this data is just nothing but other input test cases. In short, if I say, if they are the other input test cases, now this online judge run against these test cases and they compare it with the correct output. An output file is generated. So your submitted code may be run with restrictions, including time limit, memory limit, security restrictions, and so on. So yes, there are restrictions. Your code must be within the time limit constraints of the problem, within the memory limit, and there are also some security restrictions, which we'll talk about later. Now submit your code. Once you submit your code, you will receive a verdict. This verdict is given by the online judges used by respective platforms after judging your code against input test cases. As I said, this online judge receive your code and they run your code against their input test cases. Once the code is run, they generate an output, and the output is compared with the correct output for that particular problem. If both of the output, your code's output and the correct output match, you will receive an accepted verdict, like your solution for the problem was correct. Like this, there are certain number of test cases which need to be passed by your code to get all clear verdict. So that's it. All clear is accepted verdict. If your code passes all the test cases, what do I mean by passes? That your code generates the correct output for those test cases. The output should be matched with the correct output. The correct output set is the online judge already has. So if they matches, you will receive an all clear verdict. And if your code fails to pass the test cases, you will receive a wrong answer verdict. And if your code takes more time or memory than given in the constraint, then you receive a time or memory limit exceeded verdict. It is obvious that your code should not take time more than given in the constraint. Like generally, there are problems like which have time constraints like 1 second. So your code should be compiled as well as executed and should generate the output within 1 second. If it fails to do so, you will receive a time limit exceeded verdict. Or if your code takes more memory than expected, you will receive a memory limit exceeded verdict. Now, once you submit any of your code in the contest hours, you are an official participant in the contest. Yes, just like Rahul showed you about the contest. Whenever you start solving the problems for from A to F, let's suppose you start solving problem A, and once you submit it, any of the your solution to the platform, you are an official participant in the contest, and your based upon that, your rating will be changed. Okay. Yeah, now let's take a look at a sample problem now. Yeah, um, this is our sample problem. Your program is to use the brute force approach in order to find the answer to life, the universe, and everything. More precisely, rewrite small numbers from input to output. Stop processing input after reading in the number 42. All numbers at input are integers of 1 or 2 digits. So what this problem is basically that you need to rewrite small numbers from input to output and stop processing after once you read uh, the number 42. So let's suppose the input is 1, 2, 88, 42. Now once we inputted this number 42, we will stop our program and terminate it. So the only thing we need to output is 1 to 88, all the numbers above 42. So did you understand the question right now? It is a very simple question, and you can have its solution in any language. Like here I use C++, and even C is fine. There is not much difference. So first we initialize a variable, have its value, and now here I am using a while loop. It's basically an infinite while loop. Whenever you have something uh, true, like something like true written in it, it's an infinite value. We don't know when it will end. Like we don't know the number of iterations it is repeatedly going to make. It's not certain. It will depend on the problem. It will depend on the input cases. Okay. So here we take an integer as an input, assign it to x, and we check if the value of the integer x is equal to 42 or not. If it is not equal to 42, we need to print just like here, 1, 2, and 88. 1 is not equal to 42, so we print 1, and we again go on to the same loop. Then again, 2 is not equal to 42. We print 2, again repeat the same process. 88 is not equal to 42, repeat the same process. So until we get 42, we will going to repeat the same process. Even if the all the inputs, like let's suppose there was no 42 present here, we would print all those numbers as the output. So, and once if this is not the case, like if x is equal to 42, we break this loop. And what does this mean? If we break this loop, this all loop will be breaked, and we will exit this loop, and then we will just return and terminate the program. And I will show you what it looks like to submit the solution. I have clicked here submit. Yeah, here this is our user, this is the problem, and the result is accepted. This is how this I'm using here Spear Online Judge. This is the judge used for practice. We generally practice problems here. So the result is accepted, and here you can see the time my code took to in order to pass all these test cases is 0.01 seconds, and the memory it took is 5.3 m. So, and the language of CPP. So not for this problem, but for certain problems there are restrictions, like the time should not be greater than zero point 0.5 seconds. So your code must pass all the test cases within 0.5 seconds, or else you will get time limit exceeded or something like that. Now let's suppose I didn't use here break this statement. Like if suppose I forgot to use this break statement, and I just executed this code. This is basically an infinite loop, and even if you run it anywhere, it's going to give you some runtime error or something. So let's see what happens if I do this and I submit the problem. Yeah, it gives you runtime error, and you now you can see the time is 1.66. Like even the judge required more amount of time. Because our loop was infinite. Our loop was this loop runs infinitely, and it doesn't know where to stop. So it will keep on running forever, and there is no certainty about this. So yes, you will get runtime errors, and there are also other types of error like compilation error. Compilation error generally occurs when you forget to use proper syntaxes, right? Let's suppose I forgot to use this semicolon, then maybe I will receive a compilation error or any other syntax error. So that's basically programming language dependent. And we get back to the presentation. Yeah, so this was the problem. Yeah, and warning, this is very important thing. Plagiarism, you need to be careful that you don't copy anyone's code, you don't copy anyone's logic, or you basically all you have to do is you have to do from by your own. You don't need to you don't have to copy. You're not supposed to copying someone else's codes, someone else's logic or anything. It just kills the fun of giving the programming contest. You can see others code, not file the contest. If you're practicing a particular problem and if you're not able to get the solution, you can see the tutorial, or you can see someone else's code who has submitted the problem. But it is just for your understanding, and you can just understand the code, and you can have it in your own implementation, but you should not copy your code. This is a notice received when any of the contestant tries to copy someone else's code or someone else's logic during a contest. The all of the sites, all of the platform took contest very seriously. So you are not supposed to be copying anyone else's code, logic, or anything. They highly penalize you if you are found guilty. And trust me, in most of the cases, you will be found guilty if you do such kind of things. Not in most, in all the cases, you will be found guilty. Um, See, your solution for the problem, this significantly coincides with the solution. You will receive, you will also have the solution with which it was compared, and it was flagged. So such a coincidence is clear rules violation. Note that unintentional leakage is also a violation. So you cannot give any lame excuses for them. For example, do not use ID, and this is an online ID one. So there, if they are, this is just an example they have given you, so no need to think about that much. And if you have think that it has been incorrectly flagged, you can write a comment to post about the round. uh, uh, if you think your solution is incorrectly flagged, like if you didn't cheat and still you receive the notice, you can write to them. But generally that's not the case. Nowadays software are much more advanced. Even if you do something like change the variables or change something such that the computer won't understand, so that's not the case. You will be flagged even if you do some minor changes or major changes. If even if you copy someone else's logic, you might get flagged. Your solution might get flagged, and you will be penalized for it. Such violation of the rules may be the reason for blocking your account or other penalties. In case of repeated violations, your account may be blocked. So, if the community highly discourages from copying someone else's logic codes, and it just takes away the fun part of competitive programming. So, it is highly not advised to do such kind of things. And lastly, talking about the future plan, for of the club, we look forward to guide you in competitive programming. Um, Based upon the response, the club plans to host learning sessions and practice contests. So we will be floating Google form. Based upon the response. We are planning to host learning session and practice contest. In this learning session, we will cover different topics related to competitive programming. We will go from beginner level to intermediate and advanced level in this competitive programming. And you will also have, after the session, practice contest, friendly practice contest in the college, where we will solve the problems related to that particular topic which we learned in that session. So, after teaching basic programming that is required for CP, we would conduct sessions on various data structures and algorithms. So, yes, we will also be conducting sessions on basic programming. Like many of us initially make syntax errors. So, in order to deal with it, we are planning to conduct basic programming sessions in order to shift yourselves. Let's suppose you know C language. So, in order to get shift to C++, what are the changes required? We can have a session on that, or we C++, Java, Python. These are the three languages which we highly encourage and should be practiced in competitive programming. Like any one of the language is enough, to be frank. Now, once ICPC dates are announced, we will be having practice sessions like contest for those two ICPCs. These dates are generally announced in the midsummer. You will receive, and this ICPC is a competitive programming global competitive programming contest, and you can you will be forming teams among your friends, and you can participate in this ICPC too. So we can have practice sessions as well as contests in order to prepare for it. And for students, the future plan is keep attending infero sessions, solve problems after sessions, and be regular and interested. So this was it for today's introductory session. And thank you for your patience. Now I shall begin the doubt session. If you guys have any doubts regarding the session, you can asking in the chat box or just open your mic and ask. Yes, all of these platforms are free. They are purely educational purposes. So yes, all of them are free. When will we have data structure classes? Yeah, that will be announced. We will mail you accordingly. We haven't completely scheduled yet. We will mail you accordingly. Yeah, how to show VS Code right now? I don't use VS Code, so yes, but we will conduct a session. Okay, to set up an offline ID like VS Code or Sublime Text. Yes, we will definitely conduct a session. How to install it and every other thing. Yes, you should have one ID for participating. You must have, if even if the platforms found multiple IDs on the same device, you are participating in contest, you might be penalized for it, and the penalty is very much high. You might lose 270 something points if you are found doing such kind of thing. Yeah, most of the Abhay, see, most of the contests which are held on code forces and code shift, they are participation. They involve the only group participation contest in is ICPC. You can participate ICPC in group, but and all those contests which code shift and code forces conduct, they require solo participation. There are some contests though on code forces which require group participation, but generally solo participation is encouraged. They will be held like twice a week or maybe 3 or 4 times in 2 weeks, like that. Solo competitions. Best place to start for beginners. Okay, I would suggest CodeChef maybe. Like there, you can just search the problems by difficulty level. There is a tag to practice. Yeah, CodeChef long challenge. Yes, it is currently going on, and it is till 7th of February, I guess. So you can just start it with it. It has basic, simple questions. CP only for people? No, it's not like that. Generally, CP is for open for everyone. Ideally, it is open for everyone, but you should have an interest in mathematics, in logical reasoning, and algorithmic stuff. If you have interest, you will love competitive programming. Yeah, right now, yeah, I told you that DSA, we will be conducting sessions regarding that too, regarding DSA. Right now, you just need to, improve yourself, like have a proficiency in one language. You should start practicing implementation, how to implement a particular logic in code. You should practice doing that. You should not be making syntax errors, syntax mistake, programming syntax mistakes, and things like that. So that should be your main focus right now. Not learning DSA. You will learn DSA afterwards. Once you get used to familiar with one particular language like C++ or Java or Python. Yeah, you can use any language for CP, but C doesn't have the that variety of resources in order to solve variety of problems. Like C++ is far more has far more better resources, and it is easy to use than C language. In C language, you will have to deal with many. You will have to get things complicated for your own self in order to solve some simple problem. Yeah, very nice question. The program you wrote, yeah, yes, it is very highly possible that two people might have the same code. But what the platforms generally do is that that was a very simple question, right? So for simple questions, they generally skip the part because, like, suppose there is a question like given two integers a and b and output the addition of the integers. Let's say a plus b, you have to output. Now it is possible that many students can have the same solution for a particular language, so you cannot claim that yes, all of them have copied or something like that. So for that kind of questions, they generally skip the what I can say, the plagiarism part. So yes, it is not you will not facing any penalty even if you are found only for those simple questions, huh? Not for all questions. Yeah, learning C++, I believe if you have learned C, it is very much easy to shift to C++. You just have to follow proper syntaxes and have some good knowledge about the STL in C++. Standard template library. C++ has a variety of standard STL, which helps you a lot in solving problems. So if you can learn it your own, then you have just learned C++. We will conduct a session no, for shifting from C to C++. But could not write the code which auto-gauge can be used to. Acha, like verifying. So see, even so, I believe the question is that even if you pass the sample test cases are the ones visible to you in the question. So even if you are able to get correct output for those questions, it doesn't implies that you will get an accepted verdict for the particular question, because they involve a lot of test cases. Like generally, constraints are given to you, like n is less than 1000, 10,000, 10 raised to power 5, something like that. So there are number of test cases they have, which are not visible to you, and your code is executed against those test cases, and the output is generated accordingly. If the output matches the correct output, you will receive a accepted, but if it doesn't, so you have to change your logic, like there is something wrong in your code, or maybe something you are missing. So that is the case if you are not able to get a clear answer. You just simply have to think about more and more test cases, and try to generate some of your own. Like where can it be where my code can fail to answer a particular test case. You just have to think manually, and you have to make changes in your code accordingly. Yeah, the recording will be shared to you, so those who have not joined or joined late can see the recording. To avoid runtime error. Runtime error is basically you are not having proper knowledge about the what you are doing, what your code is doing. If you don't have the knowledge, you might receive a runtime error. It is generally received when you try to when you have an infinite loop in your program, or when you try to access the element which are present out of the array bounds, like -1 index of an array. It's not possible, and if you try to access it, you will receive a runtime error or something like that. Like when it generally occurs when you don't have the proper knowledge of what your code is doing. So if you know what your code is doing, it you might not receive it.